Good afternoon, everyone. You have reached the Maston Ross Ewing Show on Ewing News Network. I would like to start off today's broadcast. There will be no intro music for today. I decided to forego that. I would like to talk about the standards of the federal government for a moment in time. Also, I would like to bring in a discussion on Experian, TransUnion, and the other one, can't remember the name of it. It's a credit score agency. I think if the federal government can't keep and makes promises to pay their federal debt, and our national debt crisis keeps climbing by the second, or the nanosecond, I should say, I think we need to do away with the three major credit bureaus that holds America's people back, regardless to what. Everybody has a past. We need to forgo and let things go and go on a standard of people of the way that they are. I have a company called Windstream Communications located in Lexington, Kentucky, and also probably nationwide, that basically has denied a few things for me. And when I started my service with Windstream, I was told if I paid my bill for 6 full months, I have, that I would be able to get some perks from them, such as computers, tablets, cameras, phones, you name it, they've got them. Well, the 6 months ended as of the 1st of January. I asked simply today, and I was declined and told that I would have to wait another 6 months, which makes for a year. They lied to me in the beginning, they lied to me today, so that they will lie to me again in 6 months. I'm about getting sick and tired of being told no from so many places due to the fact that they want to control. It's all about the control of the American people. Of companies that basically has asked for bailouts, money to bring them up to where they need to be. The land of the borrow and pay tomorrow, it needs to be stopped. Also, I think we need to give free educations to those people making less than $500,000 a year. I think it's time that the student loan people come up to standard with the rest of the world. And if your income is less than $500,000 a year, which most students are, I think we need to get back to a basic of education and actually giving free educations to those who deserve it. My standings today is that since the federal government can't keep their debt deal going, do away with all three credit bureaus, and also the Duns Network, and also there's another program, and I forget the name, that goes on business, that rates businesses. I think they need to be done away with, because basically it forces businesses that needs the money to start. You have to jump through so many hurdles to get your business started. I'm finding now, in my own way, that with, let's see, I have had a charter going on for 6 months now to start get my business off of the ground. Not only do I have to go through the Duns Network system to get a number, Dun & Bradstreet is the name of this other. Then I have to go through their credit bureau, which basically tells you no automatically. But yet you ask a former president that basically had to do the same thing to set up a charity, and just because he was a former president, he gets the red carpet treatment with these people. Gets an automatic pass. And a governor, he gets an automatic pass because of his standing in the community. I think it's time we go back to where it used to be in the 70s and 60s, and possibly the 50s, where you have to either, if you have property or if you don't have property, you have to have so many ways of doing things, and basically I think we need to go back to those days. It's time in America we take a stand, and basically either this next upcoming election for governor and all offices, even up to the next presidential race, we need to get rid of every person that was in office as of today, and basically start with a fresh, brand new, from the top down to the lowest county office you can be, and city office, and start afresh. Now I'm going to discuss a little strategy with you on how this can work. This can only work if Americans take their heads out of their rear ends and does something about it. It's up to you, and it's up to you alone when you go in that polling place to vote who you think and deserves to be there. And I'm going to say this to people, and I dread to, open a can of worms. If we done away with the three forms of the TransUnion and all of those credit bureau systems, Experian, and all the rest of them, America could probably run better. And we need to have 2 forgivable debt periods in your lifetime that you can apply, and it won't affect your standing. You can go right back to, doing what you did, except under a monitored plan. I know I'm going to have a lot of grief and a lot of people that tells me that this is wrong or that's wrong, or we should do this or we should do that, and filing bankruptcy just hurts you even worse. If the federal government can't pay their bills on time and do right by the American people, then the bankruptcy courts and the bankruptcy codes needs to be changed, and statuses needs to be changed. I know 3 people that has been hurt by these mortgage runs that happened a few years ago. They approved to everybody, got everybody happy, and then all of a sudden the crisis of their mortgage changed, and it caused a lot of people to lose their homes. That is unfair to the American people. These companies that done it asked for huge bailouts, huge borrowed monies that never did get paid back. Some may have done it. I'll agree there were some organizations that did this in order to get themselves better footing. I think if you get to the point you actually have to ask the federal government for a bailout, I think it's the right of the American person to ask the federal government for a bailout to help them. If they had gave every American the money that they handed over to these businesses that couldn't run and had high salaries, I mean their salaries was so high, millions upon millions of dollars, and salaries up into the 5 and 6 digit figures, and 7 digit figures on some. I would like to offer a challenge to all Americans that hears this and can spread this message worldwide. We need a change, and a change we're going to ask for. So I'm asking you, the American people that listens to my show and listens to this broadcast, if you want the 3 credit bureaus gone so you can live a little better, I'd urge you, like everything else, to basically get yourselves a petition together in your states and ask the federal government to either do away with them or permanently dismember them. That way, when you start to go to the utility company, they don't have to run no background check or whatever. You just pay a small deposit that is requested, and it can't be something more than you can pay. I think it's time that Americans got better services and better things to do. It kills me. I know a guy that is trying to start a business off to the ground, and he's going through the Dun system and also Dun and Bradstreet, and he keeps getting told no every time. He pays his bills on time and still can't get a business started because he's not got so much clout or class or money in dirty politicians' pockets to get him going. And yes, when I say dirty money in politicians' pockets, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You know, it's sad to say in the society today we've got politicians that can be bought to get stuff done. You know, we elect these people, and I think they should start being on the salary of what the common man is, not what they sit up there in Congress and the Senate and the President's office, the Governor's office, and so on and so forth, and go and say, well, hey, we need a pay raise. Let's work this out. I think if the President, Vice President, and all of his staff, and all of the federal system had to live on Social Security or disability or whatever for one full year of their salary, I think that they would humble themselves to the American people or beg for help. I have had enough of these companies that gets out here and baits and switches and sticks a carrot at it and on a line at an end of a stick and tells people, hey, if you start your service with us now, in 6 months you could probably get this or that, or, you know, a reward thing or a perk. Basically, I'm going to tell you, you'll never get what you're after. So I urge people in every state in the Union to start a petition to do away with the TransUnion, Experian, and the other credit bureau, and Dun & Bradstreet, and the Dun system. If we done away with all these people and all these organizations that collects data on you, and you went on your own merit to do stuff, you could get more done than anything else. Last year alone, in 2012, the numbers just came out, and I saw this. There was 1.3 million repossessions done on vehicles, homes, businesses, and other stuff. Along that line, there were 653,000 bankruptcies filed nationwide. Now I'm asking you, and I think that it's time that we the American people take back some of the stuff that we deserve and had the right to. There was, I know some people that lost their house and lost their homes and lost their cars and other possessions because of the reason why the federal government keeps a poor person held down. But yet those people over $500,000 a year, they have it made. They've got people that they can pay to make things go away. America, wake up. Wake up and get going. I guarantee you, if you did this, and you got every state in the Union got every signature from every county citizen, state and federal, state persons of all 50 states. I'm not talking about, swaying from the Union. Let's come together here. We're part of the United States. We need to stay that way in order to get more stuff done. I foresee in the future that each state will start trying to make their own money, that their own money will only be good within their state, and I see that the passports are going to have to be issued in order to go into other states. If the swaying of the Union does go through. According to U.S. history, and actually the law, you have to have enough people to do it and to get it done, and if you do that, then that creates a country within another country. So that means the money that's in those states has to be collected and returned to the Federal Reserve and that country has to come up with their own democracy, and a democratic system has to be in place in order for them to operate, and they have to have their own United States or their own capital to what country they call themselves. Now I'm telling you now, come together. Let's start this and let's get this going, because I swear I'll sign my signature to a petition here in Kentucky, and I'll even try to get one started so that Kentucky can show the federal government, either you get rid of these organizations so it won't hurt people no more, bankruptcies will be a thing of the past, you will be able enough to live with what you have and can afford to do. I'm sick and tired of seeing people that have worked their entire lives to get told no. It is time in America that people that work so hard to get where they're at today be rewarded. So I'm asking for you to consider what I have said on this program today. Let's start a petition to get rid of these vagrants that basically controls their lives every single day. And if the federal government can ask for a forgivable debt and ask for bailouts from other companies such as Dodge, such as Ford, such as all these other companies, Chase Manhattan Bank, and all these other businesses that got in under the bailout program, I think that it is time that we do some changes, and we need to do them now, not wait 6 or 7 months down the road when things gets worse. If you're with me, I would advise you deeply. My email address is mastonewing37@gmail.com. I ask you to email me. Again, that email address is mastonewing37@gmail.com. And let me get your ideas, because I can guarantee you, if we the people stand up and ask for these organizations that controls us, and the student loan people gets took out of business, I think America would be a better place to even get an education. And this teaching to a test business and threatening teachers' jobs, it irritates me. It infuriates me. My mother and 2 of my uncles was teachers on my mom's side of the family. I think I had a teacher or 2 on my dad's side of the family. But I'll say this much: threatening teachers' jobs because their students aren't learning, it's not that fact. You're not teaching the basics of arithmetic, spelling, English, punctuation, or any other. You're teaching to a damn test. And that test does nothing. If you don't teach the basics, they won't know what's on that test and how to take it. I think we need to revise the SAT and the ACT to make it current. It hurts people's morale if you threaten their job. Let's stop that. I mean, I'm serious, folks. This is getting right down to the ridiculous side of things, where we let companies control us when we shouldn't let them control anything. We should be the ones to have say in their business. We should be the ones having more say in Washington than what these idiots that we elected and sent up there. All they want to do is they'll talk a good game. They'll put peanut butter and jelly on a sandwich and serve it and say it's Grey Poupon when it's not. Piece of garbage. But I will say this much: if we did what I'm asking, got rid of the three credit bureaus, the Dun and Bradstreet, the Dun system, and also, actually give us a bailout. Not just $200 or $300 to help us. I'm talking if we took the same amount of money that every company got that was given out across the board, every American, regardless to whatever they were, illegal or whatever, I think that we would be getting approximately $580,000 in one lump sum given to us, but according to the Census Bureau, the guy that done the math for me, I'm trusting his opinion. Either we would be getting $587,000 or around about $800,000 per American that has a Social Security number. Not a green card number, not a visa, but a green card. I mean a Social Security card. We would be getting around $887,000. That could help America get going again, instead of bailing out these frickin' banks that sits up there with their $1 million, $2 million, $8 million salaries to their executive people, and basically sits there and holds America down. If we got rid of them, I think we would be a lot better off. I think if a bank gets so big, they're going to have to split. I think if you get up to 30 branches, in any time you have to split that bank down by half and start with 2 different divisions, and basically making them more humble as you get along, because you all keep us on the humble end. Another thing we need to do, we need to start getting the home ownership program that should have been passed in the 80s, that would ensure that if a person applies for a mortgage on a house, they go by the income status of what they can afford and give them the class of a ×1, and if they got that class put onto it, such as Ronald Reagan wanted passed and never did get done, I don't know what they did with it or how it got done. Nothing was reported during the 80s what happened. I still have a thought about what happened in 9/11, and I've got an opinion, and I'd like for everybody to notice. There's a movie out called In Plain Sight I want everybody to watch. You can get it on Netflix. If you have a Netflix account, you can get it for free to watch it. You'll have to forgive me, I've got a little cold going on. But anyway, I want you to think about this. Think about this really hard. Let's get rid of the credit bureau systems. Let's do away with the federal system of the Dun system, the Dun and Bradstreet, and I think we could actually reform student loans. And if you have less than $250,000 to $500,000 coming into your pocket as a student, your education should be made free. There should be no charges. You'll just have to pay the tuition and the books, but the tuition can't go up in a gross or whatever. If you agree with me, my email address again is mastonewing37@gmail.com. Simple as that. Email me. I'd like to hear your word. Or leave a comment on this board through Spreaker, and let's get something going. If the standards of the federal government has to be as what there are, and they're asking for a raising of a debt ceiling and a fiscal cliff, all of this garbage, I think we need to take control of what's going on. So if you agree with me, email me, get on here, leave a message on my board. I would love to hear what the American people says about what I just said. I think we need to decrease how much college can charge the students for education. I think the college system needs to be reformed. I also think that the student loan process should be easier and made more affordable for people that can't hardly afford nothing. This is all I'm asking, and I'll leave you this, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Have a good day.